Have you ever wondered how one woman held a centuries-old institution together through scandals, tragedies, and seismic cultural shifts? For 70 years, Queen Elizabeth II was more than just a monarch. She was the anchor of the British royal family, steering it through storms that threatened to sink it entirely. This isn't just a story about a queen in a palace. This is the incredible tale of how Elizabeth II, with quiet strength and unwavering dedication, saved the monarchy from the brink of collapse. Stick around, because you're about to see the royal family in a way you've never seen them before. To truly understand the scale of Elizabeth's achievement, we have to go back to the beginning. When she ascended the throne in 1952, the world was a completely different place. The British Empire was dissolving, and the very idea of a monarchy was starting to feel outdated to many. The institution she inherited was rigid, steeped in ancient tradition, and dangerously out of touch with the modern world. Her own uncle, Edward VIII, had abdicated for love, a scandal that shook the monarchy to its core and placed her father, George VI, on a throne he never wanted. The pressure was immense. Could this young woman, just 25 years old, possibly navigate the treacherous waters ahead? One of the first, and perhaps most brilliant moves of her reign was embracing the one thing her predecessors had feared: the media. The 1953 coronation was a masterstroke. Against the advice of traditionalists like Winston Churchill, who feared it would cheapen the mystique of the monarchy, Elizabeth insisted it be televised. For the first time, millions of people were invited, via their television sets, into the sacred halls of Westminster Abbey. They saw the splendor, the ancient rituals, but most importantly, they saw their queen. This single decision transformed the monarchy from a distant, almost mythical entity into something personal and accessible. It was a gamble that paid off spectacularly, forging a direct connection with the public that would become the bedrock of her reign. She understood that for the monarchy to survive, it had to be seen. This seen-to-be-believed philosophy became her guiding principle. Think about her iconic style, the brightly colored coats and matching hats. This wasn't just a fashion choice, it was a calculated strategy. She once said, "I have to be seen to be believed." In a crowd, you could always spot the queen. That bright pink, lime green, or canary yellow outfit ensured that everyone who had waited for hours to catch a glimpse of her would get their moment. It was a simple yet powerful way of showing that she was there, present, and accounted for, not just an abstract head of state. It was a visual promise of her constant presence. But being seen wasn't enough. The monarchy also had to adapt. Throughout the 60s and 70s, as society underwent radical changes, the Queen quietly began to modernize the institution. She opened Buckingham Palace to the public for the first time, introduced more informal garden parties to include people from all walks of life, and even consented to the groundbreaking 1969 documentary Royal Family. While the film was later withdrawn from public viewing, its initial broadcast was another attempt to demystify the royals, to show them as a family, albeit an extraordinary one. It was a delicate balancing act, maintaining the essential mystique of royalty while simultaneously making it more relatable. Then came the crises, and there were many. The 1990s were particularly brutal, a period the Queen herself famously dubbed her annus horribilis, or horrible year. In 1992 alone, 3 of her children's marriages publicly imploded, and a devastating fire ripped through her beloved Windsor Castle. The press had a field day. Scandals involving Charles and Diana, and Andrew and Fergie filled the tabloids. The public began to question the purpose and the cost of the royal family. The institution seemed to be crumbling from within, its members' private lives undermining its public standing. Through it all, Elizabeth remained the calm center of the storm. While her family's personal dramas played out on the world stage, she never wavered in her public duty. She kept to her schedule of openings, visits, and state duties with stoic resolve. Her unwavering commitment was a powerful, silent message that the institution was greater than the individuals within it. Her steadfastness provided a crucial sense of stability when everything else seemed to be in chaos. She was the constant, the one thing people could rely on. The ultimate test, however, came in 1997 with the tragic death of Diana, Princess of Wales. The initial response from the royal family was seen as cold and out of touch. The flag at Buckingham Palace wasn't lowered to half-mast, and the Queen remained at Balmoral with her grieving grandsons, William and Harry. The public grief was immense, and it quickly turned to anger at the perceived indifference of the monarchy. For a moment, it felt like the bond between the Queen and her people might actually break. The headlines were brutal. "Show us you care," one demanded. This was perhaps the most perilous moment of her reign. But then, in an unprecedented move, the Queen adapted. She returned to London, breaking with protocol to address the nation in a live broadcast. Speaking not just as a queen, but as a grandmother, she paid a heartfelt tribute to Diana. She acknowledged the public's pain and shared in it. In that 5-minute speech, she single-handedly diffused a national crisis. She listened, she responded, and she showed that the monarchy could and would bend to the will of the people when it mattered most. It was a lesson in leadership that saved the crown. From that point on, the monarchy entered a new phase, one defined by the lessons learned from the Diana years. The Queen seemed to understand that the key to future survival was to showcase the human side of the family, particularly the next generations. We saw a softer, more grandmotherly figure emerge. She championed the work of her children and grandchildren, particularly Princes William and Harry, who connected with a younger generation in a way the older royals couldn't. She supported their modern approach to royal duty, their focus on mental health, and their more informal style. Think of the 2012 London Olympics opening ceremony. Who could forget the Queen, a global icon of tradition, seemingly parachuting into the stadium with James Bond? It was a moment of brilliant self-awareness and humor. It showed a monarch who didn't take herself too seriously, who was willing to participate in the fun and embrace the modern spirit of her country. This, combined with the joyful celebrations of her golden and diamond jubilees, solidified a new era of goodwill. The monarchy was no longer just respected, it was loved again, even in her final years, as she navigated the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the loss of her husband of 73 years, Prince Philip. Her dedication never faltered. Her message to the nation during the COVID-19 lockdown, evoking the spirit of the Blitz and promising, "We will meet again," was a source of comfort and strength for millions. It was a perfect example of her unique ability to provide reassurance and embody the spirit of the nation in times of crisis. So, how did Queen Elizabeth II save the monarchy? She did it by performing a masterful 70-year-long balancing act. She preserved tradition while embracing change. She maintained mystique while inviting the public in. She upheld the dignity of her office while showing her humanity. She was a constant in a world of relentless change, a symbol of duty, resilience, and quiet strength. She didn't just wear the crown. She redefined what it meant to be a monarch in the modern world, ensuring that the institution she inherited would endure for generations to come. Her legacy isn't just in the history books, it's in the very survival of the crown itself. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think was the Queen's greatest achievement? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this look into royal history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. We'll see you in the next one.